What's up, guys? This is Forrest, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 as it's been out for 2 years now. And so last year I bought a bunch of games during the holidays as well as some new game releases at that time. Dialfield Chronicles, Soul Hackers, Valkyrie Elysium, Death Stranding that was on sale during Black Friday. And as you can see, these games I'm placing on the table. I even got a couple of games this year, and like Greedfall being the latest one. But there is actually a problem. Space is the issue. And I needed to upgrade my PlayStation 5 with some additional storage. So I decided to shop around this week for a pretty good deal on an NVMe, and I found one that I think may work out pretty well. The one I chose is the Inland Gaming Performance Plus. This was a drive that was on sale this week at Micro Center for $84.99, normally $300. It has a read speed of 7,000 megabits per second and write speed of 5,500 megabits per second. Now, this does appear to be in line with the supposed performance that is required from Sony for the PlayStation 5. But as we get into the video later, I'm going to talk about why I'm kind of a little bit here and there on why I'm being apprehensive. But not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. So don't take it away from this as a bad thing. We'll get to the end of the video and talk about that later. So in this video, guys, I'm going to show you how to install the NVMe. Now, this is my first video doing this, so the lighting may not be perfect. We'll be working on that in the future videos. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's move on to installing this NVMe. The first thing you'll need to have ready is a table with either a microfiber cloth or a towel, preferably. Next, you want to take your console and lay it perfectly flat on the table and have the disk drive facing away from you. Now, also, I'd recommend you getting an iFixit kit for this because there are two different screws that are used where the NVMe goes, and you'll see the difference in a second as I kind of struggled a bit with it, but it's important as you don't want to strip these screws. Now, once you have the system in front of you with the disk drive facing away from you, you want to flip it over, and this time the disk drive will be facing towards you. Next, you want to take both your hands, either grabbing the back corner and the front corner opposites of each other, and you're going to pull where the disk drive is to the right. This will allow the actual top of the cover to dislodge from this actual core of the system. When you feel it pull away from you, you're going to pull towards the angle and lift up. Now you can easily remove the top cover, or the bottom cover in this case, revealing the actual top where the fan and where the M.2 goes. The next step afterwards is locating the actual cover where the M.2 drive goes. There's going to be a screwdriver set that's required here to take out the screw. It's going to have a cool PlayStation design on the screw, but be very careful. You want to get the exact precise screwdriver bit for this, as you don't want to strip the screw. This is very, very important. Don't put too much pressure on it. Just be light with it and remove the screw itself from this particular spot. Next, you're going to remove the top cover, revealing where the M.2 goes. And you're going to see another screw inside there that you're going to use to screw down the M.2. There are different positions points. There are different size M.2s will go in here. But you want to pick the appropriate one for your M.2. Specifically for this one, we're using this spot over here. So this is very straightforward. So if you buy this same M.2, this is where it screws into. Next, you want to take your M.2 and you want to position the actual slot where the M.2 goes into. It goes in at an angle. So you're going to angle it in until it slots into place, and then you're going to push it down. Once that's done, you will then take the screw that came out from this particular spot and reinsert it here so that the M.2 is secure. Next, you will take the PlayStation design screw, put it back on the top cover, put the cover back into place, and screw the cover on. And that's pretty much it. It's straightforward after that. Finally, you will just put the top cover back on and slot it back into place. Once you're done, you just hook the system back up, and well, now the next step is to install the M.2 to the system. This will actually format the M.2. You will get a prompt once you turn the system on to format the drive. Now, this is an important step, as if you don't want to install M.2, you got to turn the system off. So it's either you do or you don't. Once you have it formatted, which will literally only take a couple of seconds at this point, you'll be prompted now with some speed information. Now, this is actually important because, as you can note here on this detail, it mentions something about that certain games may not run properly on the M.2. You may want to install it to the PlayStation 5. So this is where I was a little apprehensive. I don't know if this particular drive is suitable for this, but as you'll see in some clips I recorded here, that the games seem to run just fine. I installed Final Fantasy VII integrate to the PlayStation 5 versus hard drive versus the M.2, and I didn't really see no difference. Hogwarts Legacy didn't have any problems. What I could see, it ran just fine. And I even tried out a couple of other games, and nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. Everything worked as intended. Games transferred over quite easily, and the performance seems to be on par, or at least close to what the internal memory on the PlayStation 5 is doing. So overall, I would have to say it worked out pretty well. Well, I hope this video was helpful in any way, and if it was, leave a comment down below. If it wasn't, I can completely understand. I couldn't explain this a little more better and streamlined it, but for my first video after being back on YouTube, I figured this was a good way to start. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll talk to you next time.